Okay, so this is the binomial expansion part 2, very similar to what we've just done. But this time we're going to use terms which have directed number signs attached to them. So remember, these are the terms x, but this time it's minus 3, it's got a minus in front of it, positive x and minus 4. So the process is exactly the same. I'm going to do the cat's eyes arrangement. I'll end up doing the x times the x, first times the first. And at some point I'll do the negative 3 times the negative 4. Remember, really important that that sign belongs to that number. I'll do the inside ones and I'll do the outside ones. I can do them in any order I want, but I'm going to use the FOIL principle again, and I'm also going to remember, really important, the combinations of directed numbers, so that a positive times a positive gives me a positive, positive times a negative gives me a negative, negative times a positive gives me a negative, and a negative times a negative actually gives me a positive. So here we go. Let's do the first times the first, the x times the x, which is an x squared. Do the outside terms, and this is an x times a negative 4, so it's a positive times a negative, and that must give me a negative, minus 4x. I'll now do the inside, which is negative 3 times x, again a negative times a positive, gives me minus 3x, and then L for the last, negative 3 times negative 4, so negative times a negative, and that must give me a positive, and gives me positive 12. Once again, I will collect like terms up. I've got a single x squared. Now be very careful here, because we never say that two minuses make a plus. I know down here I've said a negative times a negative makes a positive, absolutely right, but I hope you remember that if I'm taking something away and then taking something else away, this is like a temperature of minus 4 going down a further 3, going down 3 degrees, negative 4x, take away 3x is take 4, take 3, that's the equivalent of taking 7x and then plus 12 on the end. So once again, two negatives don't always make a positive. A negative times a negative does make a positive, absolutely right, but in this setup, when I'm just combining the terms this way, I'm not multiplying them, I'm taking 4x, taking 3x, and that gives me the equivalent of taking 7x. So my binomial expansion has simplified to this, and there's my answer.